Hello, hello. I think we're streaming. I think everything's working. It's always nerve-wracking to be sure that everything's working correctly. It looks like we've got some people joining in, so if you are joined in, if you have a chance to jump into the chat and let me know if you can hear okay, see okay, that would be awesome. No pressure. We're doing some mint tea today. I'm on a mint tea kick. I actually end up on a mint tea kick fairly frequently. Oh, that's wild. You can see the little logo in the bottom of my glass. I don't know why, but I think that's crazy. Fun. Okay. Well, I hope everyone is having a fabulous Thursday, and that my lighting looks okay. I think it looks really, really bright, almost too bright. Like I might want to turn it down a little bit, but we'll see. Well, hello, Ray. Happy to see you from. Are you home? Are you all the way out in New Zealand today? Are you in the States? I think you're home. You'll have to let us know where you're at and if my screen looks too bright, because I think it might be too bright. I turned it all the way up and that might be too much. Okay, so for today, I thought that we would play around a little bit with some jewelry drawings. So I'll start real quick by showing you what I've been working on already. So I did a pair of earrings. These antique emerald earrings just really spoke to me. They have that, I don't know the name of it, I need to look it up, but that cut where the stones don't have facets really per se. I don't know. It's a very old-fashioned look, and I just found them fascinating. So those were the first ones that I did. And then I worked on some earrings. Oops, cancel. So this is a pair of pearl earrings that I found, and same thing. They fascinated me. They just looked really interesting and intricate, and I think pearls are especially fun to draw. I also love drawing metal, so anything that's got, what's the right word? I guess I'll go with shine. Like, I really love drawing metal, I really love drawing glass, things like that just fascinate me to draw, so I tend to really enjoy drawing them. So I did those, and then I've been looking for something else to kind of work in that same, vein as the antique jewelry. And I found this ring. It's a antique ruby ring. I can't remember. I think this is Art Deco. It's not Victorian, right? I think Art Deco. And there's just something about it that really spoke to me. I just think it's beautiful. I might simplify a little bit of the diamond work, but I haven't completely decided. I'm also thinking I might simplify a little bit of the bezel. But regardless, this is my inspiration. So I've already done, let's see, let me pull this out for you. I did the basic sketch so that I can see where all the different components land. And after that, I went ahead and did the color blocking. So this is basically just where, and if you've seen me do these before, you're like, yes, I know, we've already talked about that. But for anyone who hasn't joined before, I like to block out the colors on each different layer in just random crazy colors so that I know which layer I'm on and what's separated. So that's as far as we've gotten. And I'm really hoping fingers crossed, that I might be able to finish this with you guys. So the only parts that I'm not doing live, like I just showed you, the general sketch so that I can use that as reference when I need it, and the blocking of all the different little layers. But from there, we're going to do this together. So that is what we will be working on today. It's not perfect. I can see some angles that I would really like to refine, but one thing that I really try to do is not overthink everything, because at the end of the day, this ring is going to be this big in a sticker. So what I could do, honestly, is just draw it very small and not put in a whole lot of detail, and you probably wouldn't notice a lot of the details. But I like to draw things really large in case I want to play with them later. I took actually a lipstick and a perfume bottle that I had drawn for a sticker collection a couple of years ago, and I made them about, I don't know, 6 by 6, and they're framed in my bathroom because they just look pretty in my bathroom. So if you do things bigger, you have more options to use them in other ways later. But all of that blah blah aside, that is what we will be working on today. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and start with the main base layer of the metals. I'll just drag that gray in there for our start color. Ray, so you are back home in New Zealand. Awesome. And the screen's not too bright for you. Perfect. And you agree Art Deco probably. So good. Cool. Thank you. I hope you're doing some fun things today. I'd love to hear about what you've got going on. Let's see. I think I'll start in the back. Sometimes I would put the front of the ring on a different layer than the band, but I didn't this time. So I'm going to have to go back and do a little extra editing. Am I on the right layer? Yes. Am I on the right color? Yes. Okay. Yeah, because I'm going to very easily be able to go from the band into the face, and I don't want to do that, so I'll just have to go back with some of those harder edges later. One thing that's like a love-hate with drawing on the iPad, it has some features where it will take your lines and straighten them out for you, which can be absolutely fantastic sometimes. But other times you have a line that's almost a straight line, but it's not completely straight, and it'll want to straighten those out too, and it's just like, no, stop. Oh, and there's our friend. So it seems like he's going to start up early today. I do have a couple of items in the freezer. I might just go grab them now. The items in the freezer will help keep him a little bit more occupied. I try to save them for like once he's really getting going, but I want that to curve, but not too much, and it's not liking that. There we go. I'll do just the airbrush. So Ray, I think it's summer for you. For us, it's snowing. So let's see, you picked up your, I'm guessing, mom from the airport, here for a week. And awesome opportunity between your dad's treatments. Sending you some love and a big hug. I hope your dad's treatments are going incredibly well. Hey Michelle, welcome, welcome. Michelle, are you on the final countdown? The wedding is coming up so soon. Hi, Cindy. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Mr. Baxter apparently says hi too. This angle is really messing with my brain. There, I think that's a little better. Yep. Okay, time to hit the freezer. I'll be back in 14 seconds. All right, I got out his licky mat. Oh, Michelle, you said you didn't catch that. I asked if you are on the final countdown. You've got to be getting excited. The wedding is super close now. We have a lot of geese outside, and they keep distracting my little fluffy office assistant. Keeps wanting to straighten this line out, and I don't want to make it too curved. Not bad. I'm not hating on it. I think I'm going to end up giving this more darkness than it has in the original. But that's okay. The original's just our reference. It doesn't have to match exactly. So I did put, I can't remember if I called it vintage or antique, but I did put this jewelry theme in the most recent post that I did on Patreon for the theme for next month. Because, you know, thinking ahead, the theme that I draw next will be on the calendar for May. And I just thought that the antique vintage jewelry for May with Mother's Day might be really fun. We'll see if it wins. I don't know. I think right now turtles are winning, which is also fine, but I'm kind of pulling for the jewelry. Spring allergies. Sorry. Okay. I have to decide how much of the actual like filigree, I think it's called, or the little extra dots and things in the metal, how much of that I really want to do or not. And I haven't decided. know I want to do some, I think. Oh, Ray's voting for turtles. Cindy's voting for turtles. Well, Cindy, you're in my Patreon, so you can go make your voice heard. Ray, you should join us over there. You can get your vote. Obviously, I'm going to be drawing both of them, but it just depends on which one ends up being the theme, will be an entire collection, and which one doesn't end up being the theme will probably be a sticker set. And anyone who's not super familiar with my shop and how I do things, a collection is 6 sheets based on a theme, and a set is 2 sheets. I feel like that is too sketchy, but I don't want to blend it out too much. Yeah, I think that's too much. Maybe I'll just try soft brush. Okay. Well, thank you, Ray. I love that you're enjoying the shading and the reflection. That part of, creating the dimension in it is just, I don't know, it's just so fun for me. My husband came home for lunch, and I initially scheduled this for 1:30 Eastern because I knew he wouldn't be home, because he usually, on the days he does come home for lunch, he's always back to work by 1 o'clock. And he wasn't home yet, and it was like 12:45, and so I texted him, I'm like, just so you know, I've got a live today. But that's okay. He came home, he had his lunch, and he shipped out. I think I want to take this way down into the black. I just saw, Ray, you said you vote for turtles wearing jewelry. That would be fun. Definitely some creative license would be taken. But yeah, that would definitely be fun. Oops. That angle just looks wrong to me. It's not, though. I don't think. Let me do it again. Nope, I'm not happy with that. This is why I do digital, because sometimes you do something 15 times and you're not happy with it. Oh, I see. That's why it goes up and jogs. Okay. So it goes up. Not enough. There we go. Now I've got it. Oh, see you later, Cindy. I'm probably going to Costco tonight, so let me know if there's any good deals I need to make sure to check. We were supposed to go the other night, and it didn't work out, and it's been a whole thing. But tonight we're going to try again. Okay, I'm gonna need to make that thicker. Oh, there we go. I feel a sneeze coming on, and I'm sure my microphone will not like that, so I will do my best to run away if it gets closer. So what has everybody been up to lately? What is new? What are you working on? I'm really excited. We're getting our faucet installed tomorrow. Our current faucet, the sprayer's messed up. The little nozzle button that you use to switch from sprayer to not sprayer is messed up. Like, it's just, it has seen its time. It is done. So we're finally getting that taken care of tomorrow. And the plumber's coming. His name is Carl. Carl's my buddy. Carl's been here so many times I can't even count. All the people at the plumbing place, they know me. Oop, sorry guys, that might have been loud. This side of the ring is definitely going to be tricky, just because of the angles. So this goes across and then I guess like that, and then I'll soften it. Oh, Michelle, you watched my most recent video? Was it the After the Pen? I'm working on this week's After the Pen. I'm really trying to get that to be something that's part of my routine. New habits are always hard. Let's see, Ray, you said your life is revolving around your elderly parents right now. Your mom's cottage is finally finished, but there will be things she's going to want to change once she gets there. Absolutely, of course. Yeah, I totally get it. The past few years, I've had the same thing. A lot of elderly parent stuff. My mom's doing really good right now. She had knee surgery back in December? No, November. Gosh, time flies. And then right now, actually, my mother-in-law is in the hospital. She has COVID. So I completely get it. It feels like there's always something. I totally understand. We're all in it together. My friend Kate and I talk about that all the time because she's, we all get to that stage of our lives where, our parents just, they need us more. And it turns into kind of a full-time thing. Okay, I feel like this needs a lot more detail, but I also don't want to go too far with it. Oh well, okay. We're going to leave that part for now. I'm going to move over to the outer face area. Now this has lots of little bumps and things. I don't know how much of that I really want to try and replicate. I might make it a little flatter. I think that's going to be the way to go. I think just making a little flatter. Oops. Still get that same cool effect. If anybody's interested in this ring, I think it's on eBay. I think is where the picture came from, if I remember correctly. I found it on Pinterest, but I'm pretty sure the link referenced to eBay. It's funny to me, people have sometimes people have very diehard opinions on whether or not you should turn your paper or your screen or whatever your drawing surface is. Some people say you should never turn it because it messes up your perspective. Other people say that you should always turn it so that you're looking at whatever it is you're drawing from a more abstract angle that doesn't let your brain fill in parts that maybe aren't as good as they should be. I tend to go with option number 2. I turn things. Hopefully it doesn't make you guys seasick that I'm turning things. Okay. I think I've messed up on this side a little bit and I need to fix it. This angle needs to be coming around here more. Like that. Okay, now to fix it. Oh gosh, it keeps, I just want this line to be smoother, but I can't make it straighter. All right. I was watching a drawing video that someone else did. I wish I could tell you who, but I don't remember. It was one of those, I just watched it for a second kind of things. But they were showing, it looks done at, say, 10 minutes. And then 10 more minutes, it looks like that. And then, in an hour, it looks like, the amount of work that goes into things. It's just funny. It was a good time lapse. Whoever did it, they did a good job. Or at least I definitely enjoyed it. Okay, I'm going to need to tighten this line up too. I just finished watching Apple Cider Vinegar. Ray, have you heard of that? It's a girl from Australia, I believe she was, and her name's Belle Gibson, and she basically conned, the world into thinking she had cancer and got super, super rich and super famous, and then all the lies came out, and she basically left and went to Ethiopia to hide, and it's a crazy story. I'm guessing you might, no, you haven't heard of it? You should Google it. It's fascinating. Well, hi, Carmen. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I was just telling our friends that I finished watching the Apple Cider Vinegar series on Netflix last night. Really fascinating. They add in some characters just to, make the story come together. But they tell you that, like at the beginning of every episode, they say, this is a true story based on a lie, which you have to take a second and go, wait, true story, lie, but it's a true story about someone who lied. And that some characters have had their names changed and some characters have been added for the sake of the story. So they do a really good job of having the disclaimer on every episode. And it's not like just some cheesy line that shows up across the bottom of the screen. They actually have the characters in the show say it, which I think is important and impactful, because a lot of times you'll see something flash across the bottom of the screen and you don't maybe pay attention to it. And the fact that they say it out loud makes it impactful. Like you pay attention because they're saying it. I had never heard of Belle Gibson, or if I did, it was back when everything actually happened. It was probably in the news and I just don't remember. But it was one of those things that Netflix teed up as something it thought I might want to watch, and I did. So it was fun. Okay, now these lines are way too harsh for me, but that's okay. We can soften them. Oh, yes, very fourth wall. They definitely did a lot breaking the fourth wall in a really good way. I will be honest and say it was a little bit slow at times, but they still did a good job with the story. Our fluffy office assistant is still very focused on his peanut butter licky mat in the kitchen. I can see him from my desk. So if you're in my house, if this is my office, if the ring, so to speak, is my office, the kitchen is straight out a doorway here. So I can see him laying in the kitchen licking his peanut butter mat. So he seems pretty content for now. I might go back in and just like add in metallic dots. We'll see. I haven't gotten that far yet. Okay. We're getting somewhere. I think I'm going to have to add some. I'm going to put them on a different layer in case I don't like how they're going. This is the kind of thing that can get really tedious really fast. And if I zoom in, then I'll be way too picky about it. So we're not going to zoom in. We're just going to stay zoomed out. Nope, that one got away from me. So Carmen, are you baking anything today? I think I saw our other friend Ray asking you about that. I think you said you're not, but gotta check. Okay. So then maybe some bigger ones. And I'm purposely leaving these sketchy because I can elaborate on them in a minute if I like them. It looks like these aren't lined up so much on this side. Oh well, it's just gonna stay that way. There's not a lot I can do. Okay. Now maybe to add in just a couple more highlighty moments in the metal look. I don't even know if you guys are able to see what I'm doing right now because it's so tiny. I should have thought of that. Maybe I'll work on a different piece of the ring so that you can see better. Okay, we'll get there. We'll play with that in a little bit. Then, let's see. I might as well do these little bars. So we'll go to that layer. Okay, and then we need to, oop, my chair just fell off the mat. I have one of those glass mats on the floor because I have carpet in here and it just fell off the mat. So who else is counting down how many days until spring with me? I am totally counting. There are 14, in case you're wondering. Well, at least here in the US. Sorry guys, I hope that sneeze didn't break your eardrums. It snuck up on me. I thought it was gone. I got as far away from the microphone as I could get, but I was kind of too late. 363 more days to go if you're in New Zealand. I love it. That's funny. Ray, something that you've done that I think is so smart, and I would love to get to a point where I can do it one of these days, is you've worked ahead in your planner. And I absolutely love that. I really want to do that. I'm just never caught up enough to actually do it. Oh boy, our friend is back. Hang on. If anyone has ideas for things that I can do to keep our fluffy friend from barking at us while we're doing these, I would be very appreciative. I just can't seem to figure out how to keep him quiet. It never fails. Like, he was napping all day. And as soon as I start, he starts picking up on all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I think think it's really smart that you're doing those seasonal spreads with the Northern Hemisphere so you can use the latest stickers. It makes perfect sense. I like the idea, not so much, for that reason, obviously, but for, just not feeling behind when I'm trying to use my planner. There are definitely weeks where it gets to the end of a week and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't have next week's spread done. And I want to use my planner, but I want to finish the spread first. And, you guys get it. Yes, when you open your planner and the next spread is already done, it is like a gift. You get that moment where you're like, ah, relief. Oops. Okay, I need... There's a lot more contrast in the drawing that I'm doing of this ring than there is in the picture, because if I don't add a lot more contrast, the details aren't going to show up at all. Once you print it on sticker paper, they'll just be completely gone. That's one thing I have a really hard time reminding myself of. I'm doing a good job of reminding myself of it today, but I can't tell you how many times that I've drawn something and been really happy with how it turned out. And then I print it on the sticker paper and I'm like, you just don't see the work that went into it, All right. I think once that's in context, it'll work better. Once the diamonds are done, yeah, clear sticker paper does strange things to drawings. Okay, I almost don't. Ugh. Let's tackle this gold section. Now I need a deeper shade of this gold tone. And those little bumps, whatever those little decorative bumps are, that's on this gold section too. I just haven't decided how much of it I'm going to try and incorporate. Yeah, thank you, Ray. I think the gold is turning out pretty good. Same thing. It's like you can keep going with details for 5 days straight, and you can still find another detail that you could add in. When do you decide to stop? That's the tricky part. Okay. Now I need that darker color again. All right, maybe time to play with the ruby a little bit. Oh wait, I want to get these little brackets before I completely forget about them. They were just gonna disappear and never be seen again. There we go. Give them a couple highlights and they'll be done. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. I was really hoping that I could get this done all in one session with you guys. I am not so sure that's going to be possible. This is probably more of a 3-hour drawing than a 1-hour drawing. I underestimated, so that's okay though. I'm glad you're liking it, Ray. I'm liking it too. It's just, it's not as far along as I'd like it to be, but that's okay. Some things just take time. The emerald cut on these diamonds is so tricky. I remember I was in college and a friend of mine got engaged, and the diamond that she got was an emerald cut diamond. And she was so excited. And I remember thinking, but it's not shiny. Because emerald cuts they just don't pass the light the way any other diamond cut does. I mean, obviously I never told her that that's what I was thinking, but that's what I was thinking. I mean, yes, it was a beautiful ring, but I like some sparkles. Oh, good, Ray. I'm glad that doing the diamonds is fascinating. That's awesome. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to give you guys some more behind the scenes. And yes, this is Procreate. I love Procreate. It is absolutely fantastic. The amount of freedom it gives you to change your mind and, keep going on a piece and then delete something, change something. It's just so freeing because there's you can't make a mistake. Well, let me say that differently. You can make tons of mistakes, but you can fix them. Like if I were doing this as a painting on a canvas, at a certain point, there's not much you can't fix it. You can't make changes anymore. And with Procreate, you can always keep going back. I've even done things where I'll get a drawing to a certain point, and then I will copy the drawing and take it in one direction, and then on the other copy take it in a different direction just to see what I like, which obviously can take a whole lot of time, but it just gives you the freedom to really play. Okay, we're going to leave the diamonds like that for now, or at least those two. There's only 7, 14, 16 more to go, plus the ruby. Oh my goodness. Okay. Our friend is looking out the window. Hasn't found anything to complain about just yet. Give him time. Yes, you go stock your mom's fridge, and thank you so much for hanging out and chatting. I loved it, and I will talk to you soon. See you later, Ray. Let's see. I'm probably going to call it for today pretty soon. Going to have to decide, do I work on this one on my own, or do I make this the drawing that I work on next time? We'll see. Oops. I will probably end up making this the drawing that I work on next time and keeping you guys in the whole process. I think I like that idea better. We'll see. He's being quiet, so we're gonna take this just a little further and see where we get. Another thing that I really like about Procreate, obviously we have 7, 14, 15, 16, and then I might come over here and do some. So there's a lot of these little diamonds. And if I do a couple that I like, then I can end up copy and pasting them so that I don't have to draw them 17 different times. Now I don't want them all to look identical, so I can't just do one and copy it. Well, I mean I could, but it would look odd to the eye. You might not be able to pick up on why it looked odd, but it would have something missing. Ugh, okay, well, he's gonna bark, so so maybe we will make this our good stopping point for now. Thank you so much for joining. It means the absolute world to me that you would come hang out. I will keep you posted on when we will get this one finished so that you can join us. And if you have any ideas of things that you'd like to see, please do let me know. Drop a comment, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.